we're back. It's another day of summer collegiate baseball here on the Corn Belt League Network, and we're here in Goddard, Kansas at the Genesis Health Club Sports Complex, getting set for single elimination play in the 2023 Summer Ball Showdown, the Corn Belt League Network, bringing you all the action here from Wichita and the Corn Belt League Omaha All-Stars. Well, it was 1-1 in group play, the initial blind draw with 2 games, losing their first one to the Valley Center Mud Daubers by a score of 7-4 after giving up 4 runs in the top of the 9th and losing that one. They come back last night after going down 5-0 to the Dallas-Fort Worth Ravages. They score 13 unanswered to take a commanding 13-5 lead. They hold on to that one all the way through the 9th inning, and they finish 1-1 in group play. And now it's single elimination, and they have an easier game to start against the number 20 seeded ICT Avengers, a team that went 0-2, Ethan. First off, it's single elimination, and in baseball, really anything can happen, but taking a look down this ICT Avengers side and the stats we've seen from them this season, it hasn't really been the best tournament for them. What do you expect the Corn Belt League to do today that was so key for them yesterday as well?
I think pitching is the biggest thing that we can see. We know this offense can put together hits. We know this offense can get that offense going, but I think getting a strong start out on the mound and not having the opposing team score a run in the first, second, third, or fourth inning is going to be key, but it's also those bats. They got to get going in the first through fourth inning. Once those bats get going, however, they can get going, and they got going yesterday. Double-digit hits, double-digit runs. They were really piecing up the Ravages yesterday. And so when this team clicks, they can be one of the best teams in this tournament, but they just got a couple pieces to figure out, and then they could be on a roll.
You mentioned those bats getting going yesterday. We saw 2 home runs by this Corn Belt League side. The first one came from third baseman Carson Burnett. The second one came from first baseman who came in to pinch hit yesterday, Matthew Rivers. And Carson Burnett was one that just snuck over that wall in right field. But Matthew Rivers, oh my, an absolute moonshot. No doubter. As soon as it left the bat, everybody knew that one was gone.
Yeah, Matthew Rivers hit an absolute nuke right over here over the center field. We actually found the ball. We made a little video that'll come out in a little later, but we were able to find the ball back there, and both home runs were able to be found. So, yeah, Carson Burnett's just snuck over right field. Matthew Rivers went straight away dead center. So the wind was blowing out on this field, which they had a change of wind direction in that game yesterday. So we can see if we can get that lucky win, but if not, the wind should be maintaining left or right field, so it'll be interesting to see how the balls fly out today.
Yeah, this ICT Avengers side in their 2 pool play games, well, it was not a good look for the side that plays in the Liga Latina de Baseball and adult-based baseball league at their 3rd appearance in the Summer Ball Showdown. The first game, a 13-1 loss against the New Lennox Pumas. Their second game, a 10-4 loss against the Park City Rangers. And, well, the Park City Rangers await the winner of this game in the bracket. They secured themselves a bye in the first round after going 2-0 in their first 2 blind draw games. So if the Corn Belt League were to go on and win this one against the Avengers, they take on a team that has done very, very well in this tournament in the Park City Rangers. And we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there for this Corn Belt League side. As for now, Ethan, I mean, who's your key guy? Obviously, Aiden Erbaum out there on the mound is going to be a big factor for this game. He pitched pretty well in his one appearance earlier on. He pitched a couple innings in relief. Hasn't gotten that start call yet until he gets that call today to start. But other than him, who do you expect to shine today for this Corn Belt League side?
I think it's the man that stayed hot all tournament already, and that's Carson Burnett. Went yard yesterday, and he's batting in the 2-hole position, playing third base, and he's been really hot. He's gotten on base quite a bit. His OPS is over a 1, so that is ideal for Carson Burnett. But I don't think I can just say Carson Burnett. I'm going to say the 2, 3, 4, 5 hitters today for the Corn Belt League. That's Burnett, Ripa, Nino, and Yeager. Those 4 have been playing very well. They've been playing good baseball. Nino today, DH, Bullifer behind the plate, but I think those 3 or 4 players can really bring home this Corn Belt League lineup.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Half the lineup is just straight up power. I mean, you look at Nino, you look at Yeager, you look at guys like Chris Bullifer, just guys who can absolutely launch the ball, and then you look on the bench and you see guys like Matthew Rivers, guys who can absolutely hit tanks as well. And so, like you mentioned, Nino in the DH slot, which pushes Bullifer back behind the plate in tandem with Erbaum on the mound as well. We'll take a quick break here and get set for the national anthem here at the Genesis Health Club Sports Complex. When we come back, we'll run you through all the lineups, and we'll have first pitch for you here from Goddard, Kansas. Don't go anywhere. This is the Corn Belt League Network. And we're back here from Goddard, Kansas, as we get closer and closer to first pitch between the ICT Avengers and the Corn Belt League Omaha. And I want to take this time as Aiden Erbaum steps out on the mound and warms up to run down some lineups. Let's start with the ICT Avengers, who come into this game 0-2, like we mentioned in the pregame. 2 losses to the New Life Pumas and the Park City Rangers. And batting first and pitching for this ICT Avengers side, Kyle Robinson. Batting second and playing in center field, Chris Bowl. Batting third and playing first base, Bo Cumby. Batting fourth and playing catcher, Mark Landwehr. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, Austin Hillhouse. Batting sixth and playing second base, Jose Salas. Batting seventh and playing third base, Robert Chavana. Batting eighth and playing left field, Roman Caldwell. Batting ninth and playing right field, Matt Solomon. And, well, the big thing here for the ICT Avengers, your pitcher is your leadoff man. And he steps into the batter's box here, Kyle Robinson, getting set to work against Aiden Erbaum. Erbaum, the pitcher from Dakota State University, pitched this season with the Bombers. Pitched last season with, I believe, the Crop Dusters in the Corn Belt League. It's his second year here in Wichita. And the first pitch is up and away from Erbaum, and it's in there for strike one.
One thing about Erbaum is you know exactly what you're going to get from Erbaum. He's going to load up that strike zone, throw a lot of strikes. He's got good gas. He's got a good breaking ball. He's a really, really, really good pitcher.
Swing and a miss there for strike two, and Erbaum works ahead early in the count against the pitcher on the other side, Kyle Robinson.
It's kind of weird that the ICT Avengers based here out of Wichita don't do a DH in their lineup.
The pitcher hitting here, and the 0-2 count swung on, fouled off into the other field of play. So we'll do the 0-2 again here between Erbaum and Robinson.
Erbaum does not issue very many walks. He's really, really solid at keeping runners off the base paths, and he's good at holding them on the base paths.
Another swing. This one a high, flat, foul ball into foul territory. 3 Corn Belt League players chasing down on it, and it falls right over to the food tent, so it's out of play, and we'll do the 0-2 for a third time.
That ball was hit very high. Let's hope it didn't land in a taco. They had tacos over there. They had a taco bar over there for lunch this morning and this afternoon. Hope all the tacos are okay, because I do love me some tacos.
Yeah, they were pretty good tacos.
They were solid. They were very solid.
Huge thank you to all the sponsors here that are feeding us here at the 2023 Summer Ball Showdown. Here's the 0-2 from Erbaum. Swung on, lifted into right field, getting under it, and making the catch is Cam Matson for the first out of the inning.
Well, we got a quick second. Here's how the defense lines up behind Aiden Erbaum. Carson Burnett will be on third. Nick Ripa at short. Braden Jackson at second. Jackson Yeager at first. Chris Bullerful will be behind the plate. Nicky DeMonte in left field. Chris Calhoun in center field. And Cam Matson will be in right field. And that's how the defense will line up behind Aiden Erbaum today.
Brings up Chris Bowl, the center fielder. First pitch lifted high. Fly ball into center field. Tracking back and over to the warning track. And making the catch is Chris Calhoun. So good speed there from Calhoun to track that one all the way back to the warning track. And, well, Chris Bowl caught all of that ball, but unfortunately for him, it only got to the warning track.
Yeah, he got all of that one, and the wind just looked like they kept carrying that ball, but Christopher Calhoun is good. He shifted his body. He was originally running back to his right, but then he had to shift and turn to his left to get to that ball. Good adjustment right there.
So 2 good pieces of contact from the Avengers to start the game, but both of them lead to outs. As another first pitch strike there from Erbaum puts the count at 0-1.
Bo Cumby is a player coach. He's the head coach for the ICT Avengers, and he's also their starting first baseman today.
That one grounded softly to the shortstop, Ripa. The throw over to first in time, stretching off the bag and making the tag to the plate is the first baseman, Jackson Yeager, to end the inning. And so quick work, 3 up, 3 down for Erbaum. We'll head to the bottom of the first when we return here on the CBLN. And we're back here at the 2023 Wichita Summer Ball Showdown here at the Genesis Health Club Sports Complex in Goddard, Kansas. Chris Calhoun, Carson Burnett, Nick Ripa due up for the Corn Belt League here in the bottom of the first as we get set to see the offense that really came alive last night after the third inning. They scored runs in 6 consecutive innings after that en route to that 13-5 victory against the Dallas-Fort Worth Ravages. Calhoun steps in, getting set to see the first pitch from the pitcher, Kyle Robinson, who also batted leadoff for the Avengers. And the first pitch is in there for strike one.
Christopher Calhoun is one of the most dangerous base runners you're ever going to encounter out on the base paths. If he gets on here in the first inning, expect him to go.
Here's the 0-1. Low in the dirt for 1-1. Also one of the most patient hitters on this Corn Belt League side. We talk a lot about plate discipline. Chris Calhoun knows when his pitch is coming and knows to see it, turn on it, and get it into play or just take it for a ball. As he does there, it's 2-1.
Really patient, but he's got one of the most dangerous hitters in the Corn Belt League lineup behind him in Carson Burnett.
Here's a 2-1. Swung on and missed by Calhoun for 2-2. And so Calhoun down to his last strike here. Needs to see the ball here and either poke it foul or keep it in play to stay alive. Here's a 2-2 from Robinson. Swung on right back up the gap. Easy play for the shortstop. Throw over to first is high, but it's in time to get Calhoun out. Hillhouse over to Cumbie, and it's one away in the bottom of the first for the Corn Belt League.
And he gets down that line very, very, very fast. He can make routine ground balls very tough plays for the infield. And if that ball would have been hit a little bit more down the third base line to the third baseman, I think he could have beat that out. That's a tough play right there. And Christopher Calhoun's speed, it sure can really disrupt a lot of your defensive rhythm.
And it'll bring up Carson Burnett in the 2 slot for the Corn Belt League. First pitch in there for strike one. Some good first pitch strikes here from the Avengers pitcher Robinson.
Carson Burnett from Ohlone College out in California. We're glad he is here at this Wichita tournament.
Hit a home run last night. Watches that one in the dirt for 1-1.
Had a very, very, very solid season for the Filth Ballers, the runner-up Filth Ballers in their 2023 regular season.
Here's the 1-1. That one low, but it catches the outside corner for 1-2.
We've seen 3 different strike zones so far in 3 different games, so these hitters are constantly having to adjust up at the plate.
And Burnett gets set here for the 1-2. Robinson on the mound has been dealing pretty well. That one low for ball 2. It's 2-2. And Robinson, not a velo pitcher, Ethan, as you kind of see it in his windup. He's not trying to blow the fastball right by. He's more trying to place it. Here's the 2-2 from Robinson, and it's low and outside. Just misses for the full count.
Burnett is a very, very good hitter. He works a lot of quality ABs. He was leading the Filth Ballers in quality ABs. He really knows how to attack that pitcher.
Here's a full count. Swung on over to third base. It's a quick play for Chavana. The throw over to first is in time, and Burnett is retired as well. It's 2 away now in the bottom of the first for the Corn Belt League.
They're making contact. Christopher Calhoun grounded out to short. Burnett grounded out to Chavana. So they're making contact to that left side of the infield. They're pulling the ball. They're just not able to they haven't been able to hit a gap yet, but we'll see if Nick Ripa, who does possess some power, can get one out.
Yeah, Nick Ripa, the shortstop up. Now, it's interesting to note here, this ICT Avengers team, 11 errors in the first 2 games combined. They only scored 5 runs. They had more errors committed than they had runs scored, but so far it looks clean here for the Avengers as the count sits now 0-1 on Ripa after the first pitch strike from Robinson. Here's the 0-1 with 2 away in the bottom of the first. Just catches that outside line for 0-2. And Ripa now sits in the hole 0-2. Will step back in. Robinson has been finding his pitches and locating them well. Here's the 0-2. Fastball. Ripa turns on it into right field. And it's going to drop for a single. A 2-out single for Nick Ripa. It's the first hit for the Corn Belt League in this one.
Really good play right there from Ripa. Kept his bat through the zone. Fought it off down the right field line. That is an opposite field hit for Nick Ripa. Now Nino steps up to the plate. He's been a lot hotter towards the end of the season. He's been finding his groove, finding gaps, and piecing up some solid contact.
Yeah, Anthony Nino, who played for the Footballers, is out of Allen County Community College, and you mentioned it got really hot towards the end of the season. One of the lowest on the Footballers in terms of batting average, but he led the Footballers in RBIs. He was hitting the ball hard as he takes a big swing and misses there for 0-1. Nino will step back in, readjust, get some pine tar back onto his gloves, and step back in here as Robinson sets for the 0-1. There's a kick and the delivery from Robinson. It's a big curveball, and it just misses low for 1-1.
That was the 16th pitch from Robinson right there. In comparison, Aiden Urbaum threw 6 pitches in the first inning.
Urbaum works very efficiently on the mound. He'll throw the strikes. If the hitters can hit it, it's usually just contact to the outfield. Runner goes, swing and a miss. And sliding into second in time is Nick Ripa, so he gets a stolen base and pushes himself into scoring position for Nino, who now sits at a 1-2 count.
Good jump, a little hit and run situation, trying to get some runs on the board here early. Vern Hasty playing aggressive off the get-go, but Nino couldn't get any contact on that one. I like the call with 2 outs because if it's a pop-up, you don't have to worry about a base running mishap or anything like that. So I like the call on the 1-1 with 2 outs.
That one got him looking. Good pitch there from Robinson, and he'll walk back to the dugout. It's still 0-0 as we head to the second inning here at the 2023 Wichita Summer Ball Showdown. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is the Corn Belt League Network. Well, it was 3 up, 3 down for the ICT Avengers in their last time at the plate. It'll bring up Mark Landwehr in the cleanup spot. The catcher for this Avengers side. And Urbaum has been dealing so far. Only 6 pitches thrown, like you said, Ethan, in that first inning. First pitch just low for ball 1. And Urbaum gets set and ready to deliver the 1-0. Working at a quick pace is Urbaum. That one misses low and away for 2-0. Pitch clock is in effect here at this Wichita Summer Ball Showdown, so pitchers and batters got to work quickly and make sure that they're playing with a good pace of play. Here's a 2-0. That one in the dirt for 3-0. So Urbaum falling behind very quickly to the cleanup man, Mark Landwehr.
You almost rarely see Aiden Urbaum work in a 3-0 count. You always see him up 0-2, 1-2, or 2-2. You never really see him behind 3-0.
3-0 catches the inside line for 3-1. A bit of a generous call there for Urbaum. I thought that one was a touch inside, but either way, it's a 3-1 and a chance for Urbaum to get back in it.
That's a number shredder pitch.
Here's a 3-1. Urbaum. This one chopped over to third base side. Play made by Burnett. The throw over to first is high. The tag applied. Is it in time? Yes, it is. Athletic play at first base by Jackson Yeager for the first out of the second inning.
Carson Burnett needs to tip his cap to Jackson Yeager. Jackson Yeager has made a couple of those plays. He made 2 of them yesterday against the Ravages. So athletic. That vertical really shown off right there. Jumps up, applies the tag on the way down in time as Burnett got saved, quite frankly, right there by his opposite field counterpart and Jackson Yeager.
So Yeager's tag means there's 1 away in the top of the second. Big swing and a miss there by Austin Hillhouse, the shortstop. And it's an 0-1 count here for Hillhouse. Urbaum is already ready as Hillhouse is Still stepping back into the batter's box, and here's Erbaum with the 0-1. Foul ball, it's an 0-2 count. And after going down 3-0 in the last at-bat, he's now worked an 0-2 count already.
Erbaum is one of the most efficient pitchers. He works very quickly out on the bump.
0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him swinging, and there's another strikeout for Erbaum, adding to his total throughout the Corn Belt League season and in the Summer Law Showdown already. His first strikeout of the day, and Erbaum is looking like he's in his midseason form right now in this postseason tournament.
Looks pretty good. He's really channeling that curveball. He's got everything going. He's got a 3-pitch mix, 4-seam, changeup, and he's got a curveball in there. So keeps it simple, but throws gas.
They bring up the second baseman, Jose Salas, looks at strike 1 on the lower half of the plate, and on the outside line, Erbaum painting the corners really well on that outside corner right now. 0-1 the count. Check swing, it'll be 1-1. And Erbaum taking a little bit of time here to walk off the mound and reset himself as Salas steps back into the box. Erbaum the 1-1. Big curveball in there for strike 2, and now down to their last strike of the half inning are the Avengers.
Yeah, once again, that curveball just catches the inside part of the plate. We call that a number cruncher, as it just runs in on your numbers and you can't really do anything about it.
1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him swinging. 2 consecutive strikeouts to end the inning for Aiden Erbaum, and it's 6 up, 6 down for the Avengers. For the Corn Belt League, Yeager, Madsen, DeMonte due up when we return here on the Corn Belt League Network. And we're back here. Jackson Yeager up at the plate, trying to get onto the bases here as 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Corn Belt League. He'll look at a first pitch strike, and Robinson has been pitching really well today for this Avengers side. Has just found his locations really well. Incredible outing so far for Robinson through 1. Here's the 0-1. That one in there, drops in for strike 2, and it's an 0-2 count.
I don't think these guys have been used to seeing that kind of velocity so far this season, so they're going to have to probably go through the order until they start to time this guy out.
Yeager lifts one high fly ball. It's going to remain in play in left field. Caldwell going under it, but eventually making the catch is Bull for the first out of the bottom of the second inning, and it'll bring up Cam Madsen, one of the hottest hitters in the Corn Belt League, and was on fire last night as well.
Yeah, had a really good night last night. Starting right fielder today for the Corn Belt League. Is when you look at this outfield and you got Nick DeMonte in left, Christopher Calhoun in center, and Cam Madsen in right, you got one of the fastest outfields that you're going to see that you could possibly put together with this lineup.
First pitch from Robinson, check swing, but it's in there for a strike anyways. Working against Madsen after the fly out to center field, to left center field by Yeager. And Yeager lifted that one very high in the sky. Good work to track that one in the sun by Bull. That one gets past the catcher Landwehr for 1-1. Here's the 1-1 from Robinson. Swung on, contact made by Madsen, but it's well into foul territory and into the other field of play. And so Madsen will reset here with a 1-2 count.
That rocketed off the fence. That was a sniper off the fence line over here. Shot off the fence right into the field of play over there.
Here's the 1-2 from Robinson. Contact made again by Madsen. He was well ahead of that one, well early. Still trying to jump a fastball here by Robinson, who just hasn't thrown the velocity that he's used to. And we'll do the 1-2 again. Here's the 1-2. Outside, 4-2-2.
Working pitch count's going to be key for Robinson, who just threw his 25th pitch of the day. So working that pitch count and getting it up is going to be a key to the game.
Swung on, contact made to the shortstop Hillhouse. Madsen sprinting over to first. The throw well over, and Madsen will be safe at first on the throwing error by the shortstop Hillhouse.
You mentioned the errors earlier. That's now their 12th error, and they've scored 5 runs. So they've scored 7 less runs than they have errors in this summer ball showdown. So they got to start cleaning up those errors, and the ICT Avengers could have kept games a little bit closer than they like.
So runner on first is Madsen. It'll bring up Nick DeMonte from York University. And he'll get set in for the first pitch of the at-bat. Runner goes, show and bunt. Dropping it is the catcher, Landwehr, and it'll be advancing to second in Madsen. DeMonte pulls the bunt back, but it's in there for a strike anyways, and the count sits 0-1.
DeMonte is one of the best bunters in the Corn Belt League season. Really good job with barrel control. He can put it down the first base line, the third base line, right back at the pitcher. Wherever you want him to put it, he can put it.
Here's the 0-1. Showing once again is DeMonte. Fouled back, and now it'll be 0-2.
That right there, that was kind of a weird-looking pitch out of the hand of Robinson. DeMonte caught that ball on the upper part of his bat and had to bring his bat up into his chest, and it resulted in that ball popping up. Backspin, it's going to be a very, very hard ball to get out and play because of just how the rotation is and how you have to catch it up on your bat. But that now DeMonte's got to be swinging. You don't want a bunch of foul ball, you'd be out. So you got to be swinging and wait for your pitch.
DeMonte calls time, resets, and will step back in with an 0-2 count. Runner on second is Madsen. After stealing second. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, contact made, it's foul. And it'll be another 0-2 pitch when get another ball back to Robinson.
DeMonte does a really good job staying alive. All of these Corn Belt guys have gotten better with their quality ABs. They've been working deeper into counts, fouling off a lot more 0-2 pitches, working into 1-2, 2-2 counts.
Here's the 0-2 from Robinson. Swung on right back up the gap. Can it get through? No, it can't. Stopped by Hillhouse. Throw from his knees is not in time. So DeMonte advances on the infield hit and pushes the runner to third as well.
That's a really, really tough play for the shortstop, Hillhouse, up the middle. With a speedy runner like that, you're going to have some elite level quick time to get up from that glove to ball transition. Good job by DeMonte running that out. Base runners on the corners now. And Brandon Jackson, I'm used to calling everyone by their nicknames, but Brandon Jackson has the opportunity to put one out in play and tie this ball game, give us the lead.
Stepping off the mound is Robinson, so that'll count as his first time out of the at-bat. He's only allowed one, so it'll be actually his only time out of the at-bat. This one lifted into left field by Jackson. Is it going to drop? Yes, it is. Jackson drops one into shallow left field, and 1 run scores for the Corn Belt League, and it'll push DeMonte to second as well. And the Corn Belt League strike first here in Wichita.
Brandon Jackson was having a rough go at the plate this summer ball showdown. Well, that RBI might get him sparked up, so that's a big RBI. You want to keep tacking it on. If you're going scoreless in the first, this is when the Corn Belt League can start getting going. They should probably score at a minimum of 3 to 4 runs this inning. And with speedy runners and DeMonte and Jackson, green light.
Yeah, and it'll bring up Chris Bola for the catcher, one of the biggest power-hitting catchers that the Corn Belt League has seen in recent memory. I mean, the dude can absolutely crush a ball, and he'll look to do it here with 2 runners on first and second, and DeMonte at second, Jackson at first. First pitch misses for ball one. Here's the 1-0. Runner goes. DeMonte sliding into second. He didn't have to slide. I mean, the ball was well past the catcher landwehr, but it's now 2 runners in scoring position for the Corn Belt League and a 2-0 count here for Bolifer.
A bully bomb or a bull bomb would be absolutely clutch right here for the Corn Belt League, as he almost hit one out. That ball hit off the wall. It hit right next to that feet sign on the foul pole over here. Very, very close to that going out. That would have given the Corn Belt League 3 home runs yesterday, but ever so closely he's looking to rip one here today.
Here's the 2-0 right to the shortstop. Hillhouse throw home is in time to get the out, so the fielder's choice catches Nick DeMonte at home. DeMonte pleading his case, but he'll walk back to the dugout, and 2 away for the Corn Belt League.
That's an interesting call right there. I thought his hands got in. Nick DeMonte didn't like the call. I mean, that's an interesting play right there. Nick DeMonte didn't even have to run. Runners on second and third. You don't have a guy on first. You don't have to run. So I thought that was quite interesting. You make the play at first. You make them get the out at first in that type of situation. Granted, Nick DeMonte is fast, but I thought the umpire also missed a call.
That one in the dirt, and it'll be a 1-0 count here for the leadoff man, Calhoun. 2 on, 2 out. Runners on the corners for the Corn Belt League. On third is Jackson. On first is Bolifer, and here's the 1-0. That one misses low for 2-0.
Christopher Calhoun grounded out to short in his last at bat, almost beat the throw out. So he's definitely one of the quicker runners, and a good base hit could score 2.
Contact from Calhoun, but it's well foul for a 2-1 count. Calhoun will step back in. Once again, it's Jackson on third and Bolifer on first.
This is the 39th pitch coming up here for Robinson.
Big curveball just misses high for 3-1. That one was close from Robinson.
Good eye right there, though, from Chris Calhoun. Great plate discipline. This is a big 3-1 pitch here for Robinson on his 40th pitch of the game.
Yeah, 2 on and a 3-1 pitch upcoming against the Corn Belt League's leadoff man and Chris Calhoun. That one inside. It's a walk, and the bases are loaded for the Corn Belt League.
It's a big-time walk right there from Christopher Calhoun. As now the ever-so-dangerous Carson Burnett will step up to the plate here. Bases are juiced. He hit one out to right field yesterday. The wind is favoring more left field today, but, I mean, goes pull side. He could easily get one out.
First pitch. Well outside for 1-0. And it looks like Robinson, after being able to locate his pitches really well in that first inning, has struggled a little bit here in the second.
You got Braden Jackson off of third and Bolifer off their second, and Christopher Calhoun off of first.
Contact made, but it's fouled straight back from Burnett, so it'll be a 1-1 count.
Got a lot of speed out there on the base paths. Burnett can just place one over the shortstop. Gap hit would be what the Corn Belt League would need. It's also noted that the center fielder for the Avengers Bull is playing very deep. He is playing very back at the wall.
Almost to the warning track, maybe 10 feet in front of the warning track, as that misses high for a 2-1 count. And yeah, like you mentioned, just poke one into shallow center field, and it's going to be a long trek for Bull out there, playing well behind where he probably should be for Burnett.
Even a routine ground ball straight up the middle that gets by the pitcher, that could easily score 2 runs. So you got a lot of options.
Here's a 2-1. Back pick, trying to catch Calhoun sleeping, but it's dropped, and the runner goes home. And scoring standing up is Braden Jackson. It's a second run for the Corn Belt League, and the back pick was dropped by the first baseman, Cumby, and after that, the runner came home and scored, and now it's a 2-0 lead for the Corn Belt League.
What a unfortunate play for the Avengers, but what great heads-up base running awareness from Braden Jackson right there. Recognized the laziness and came straight home.
It's a 2-2 count now with 2 away. Swung on, roped into third base. It's fair, and 1 run is coming around to score. Vern Hasty sending everybody home. Calhoun's coming home. And Burnett will hold up And it's a 2 RBI double. Burnett eventually advances to third. So all the way to third goes Carson Burnett after scoring 2 runs for the Corn Belt League. It's now 4-0 in favor of the boys from Omaha.
That was a rope down the line. That's why they call it the hot corner, or in terms of baseball, that's what we call a frozen rope. A frozen rope is when you absolutely rip one down the line. Good job by Burnett. That's going to be a double, but a defensive indifference will make it we'll put him on third base. So great play from Burnett. Repa watches ball one outside, but you got to be really impressed with how the Corn Belt League has gone out there and attacked. They've put a 4 spot on the Avengers here in the bottom of the second.
And a lot of it has been with 2 outs, as this one is fouled off, and it'll be a 1-1 count.
I think Shavana is lucky that was a foul ball because he missed the ball. I think he might have been counting his stars, even though it's daytime. That ball was a foul ball.
And now with the 1-1 and a runner on third and 2 away still in the second inning are the Corn Belt League. Runner on third is Burnett, just brought in 2 with a double. That one just misses outside for 2-1. A lot of good 2-out hitting by the Corn Belt League in this half inning. It's how they scored their last 3 runs. This one ripped up the gap. Burnett goes home, and it's a RBI single for Repa.
Yeah, Repa is now 2 for 2 in this ball game. He had a single in his first at bat, and we are 1 hitter away from batting through the lineup. If Nino can get on, that would bring up Jackson Yeager, who led off this inning in the bottom of the second. So that really come full circle for the CBL All-Stars.
And stepping out is Nino, the designated hitter. And Robinson looks a little rattled and will step back onto the mound. It's now 5-0 in favor of the Corn Belt League. This one could get ugly pretty quickly here for Robinson if he continues to allow these 2-out hits. Nino steps in. First pitch outside for 1-0.
Nino, talking to Vern Hasty in the hotel lobby this morning, he's gotten really, really good. He's gotten really patient. He's been doing a really good job of piecing up more hits. He's getting a lot more barrels, his bat staying through the zone. So Nino's doing a really good job, and he's got going since the playoffs started. And Vern Hasty has high praise for Anthony, and Anthony looks to deliver.
2 away, runner on first is Nick Repa, who just brought home the 5th run for the bottom of the second in the Corn Belt League. Nino hit and run situation, but he fouls it off, and it'll be a 1-1 count.
We saw this last inning, Nino to Repa hit and run situation. So Repa's quick. Nino's looking to kind of get a barrel out there. With that timing he had on that last pitch, that would have been probably a left field, left center type hit. So now if he places it in the gap with Repa's advantage on the run, that could easily have been a scored run.
1-1 count here with 2 away in the bottom of the second. Repa on first. Nino at the plate as Robinson delivers. It's in there for strike 2. Good pitch there from Robinson to get ahead in the count.
Robinson just threw his 51st pitch of the day. Fatigue has got to be setting in. That pitch count is going to be way high when you get out of this inning and you have thrown 2 full. Sitting at over 50 pitches is just not ideal.
Here's the 1-2. Check back to first, and back in time is Repa.
They're just really concerned about Repa over there. They really, really are concerned about that hit and run. They're seeing if maybe they could get Repa going early and force a pickle situation.
Repa goes now. Throw down to second is well off the line, and it'll be a runner in scoring position with a 2-2 count.
Now right there in runners in scoring position. Runners in scoring position is third and second. So that's exactly the type of thing that you want the Corn Belt League to be a part of here.
Especially with a guy like Nino, who led the Filth Ballers in RBIs, 13 at the end of the season. Nino lifts this one, but it's going to go out of play. And we'll do it again with the 2-2 and 2 away in the second inning. It's been 5 runs by the Corn Belt League, and they've exploded in the bottom of the second to take a commanding 5-0 lead against the ICT Avengers. Robinson comes set. Throw down. Nino turns on it over the head of the shortstop, but making the catch is Hillhouse. He'll step back and leap up and make a quick little grab, and that'll be the end of the bottom of the second inning. But the Corn Belt League tack on 5. They take a 5-0 lead as we head into the third inning of play here at the 2023 Summer Ball Showdown in Goddard, Kansas. We'll be right back on the CBLN. Back here at the 2023 Summer Ball Showdown here in Goddard, Kansas. The Corn Belt League put on 5 in the bottom of the second inning to take a 5-0 lead. And Urban back out on the mound, throws strike 1 to Robert Shavana, the 7-hole hitter. It's been 6 up, 6 down so far for the ICT Avengers. And Shavana, the third baseman, up now. That one inside, it's 1-1.
That was the 21st pitch from Urban. So he's worked very efficiently. He's gone 20 pitches through 2 innings, that on average of 10 pitches an inning.
That one lifted high into shallow right field, but running under it and making the grab is Cam Matson for the first out of the third. And it'll bring up Roman Caldwell, the left fielder, as the ICT Avengers still searching for their first base runner of the game. It's been 7 up, 7 down. Urban has been absolutely dealing today, and will look to continue against Caldwell. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Urban just loads up that strike zone. He does not waste any time out there on the mound. It's ridiculous. It's nasty how much he can just load up that strike zone out there.
The 0-1 misses for ball 1.
I was moved to tears last time Urban pitched. I was emotional. You have outwitnessed a 20-year-old cry on a YouTube stream, and you might witness a 20-year-old cry on a YouTube stream once again.
Here's a 1-1. Drops in there, but just misses the zone for 2-1.
There's 3 constants in life: death, taxes, and Aiden Urban loading up that strike zone. Gotta love it. Gotta love to see it right here from Urban.
That one, swing and a miss. Big swing there from Caldwell. He wanted all of that one, and he missed all of that one for the 2-2 count. Here's a 2-2. Urban sets, kicks, and delivers. Just low for a full count.
I bet if you were to watch or listen to an Urban fastball go by your ear, you'd hear a whistle. It goes by so fast. Urban just throws absolute daddy gas in there and does not waste any time off. You'll see a unwasted movement in Urban's windup.
That one in there. Strike 3 got him looking for the second out of the top of the third, and Urban has been absolutely dealing today. Third strikeout of the outing so far, and it'll bring up the 9-hole hitter and Matt Solomon.
How do you do, Aiden Urban? Have yourself a day so far out there on the mound. You've been dialed. You're locked in. No one can take you off your game. Ain't nobody going to break your stride. Ain't nobody going to slow you down. Oh, you got to keep on moving.
And here's Solomon. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. That one kicked off the hand of Anthony Nino. Hope he's okay with that one, as it's a 1-0 count here for Urban working against the right fielder.
I'm not going to quit my day job. I'm not a singer. Just thought I had the opportunity. I felt like I needed to take it. And yeah.
Who sings that song, Ethan? Do you know off the top of your head?
I do not.
As Urban fires one for a 1-on-1. If you could check that out for me, that'd be great. There's something to say about it. Urban with the 1-1 and 2 outs. Sets case delivers just inside for 2-1.
Matthew Wilder.
Matthew Wilder sings that song, Ethan.
Yeah.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, let's keep
it that way.
I don't think he wants a cover.
I don't think he does. Here's a 2-1 from Urban with 2 away. Swung right back to Urban. It kicked off his leg. Backhanded snag from Jackson. Misses, and it gets through it to center field, and it's the first hit of the night for the ICT Avengers. I should say of the afternoon for the ICT Avengers. Right back up the gap for a single for Matt Solomon. It brings up top of the order in Kyle Robinson.
When I was down getting pronunciations from the ICT Avengers, Matt Solomon pulled up in cowboy boots, jeans, and a tank top. And I thought that was one of the most power move things I could have seen from a baseball player. And I've seen a lot of things in my life and crossed that one off my baseball bucket list.
Now a 2 away. First pitch strike from Urban. Working against the leadoff man in Robinson, who's also the pitcher on the other side. Runner on first is Solomon.
Robinson's one of their best hitters, went 3 for 6 in pool play games, so he's one of their hottest hitters.
That one inside for 1-1. Robinson will step back in, and first time up, hit a sharply hit fly ball to right field that was very well hit, but it just happened to go right where Ken Madsen was standing. He didn't have to move at all. As it's 2 away here, and the 1-1 pitch from Urban. He sets, kicks, and delivers. That one lifted high into foul territory, and it'll be a 1-2 count.
Urban needs that breakaway pitch. I'd go with that curveball. That curveball has been nasty so far. So go to that curveball. If not, go fastball. And then if he reads the fastball, go changeup.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him swinging. And Kyle Robinson will head back to the dugout saying, what just happened? Aiden Urban just blew a fastball right by him. We'll head to the bottom of the third. The Corn Belt League lead by 5. Looking to make it more when we return here on the CBLN. Back here, bottom of the third, coming up, the Corn Belt League lead by 5, looking to make it more as due up for the CBL. As I flip my scorebook over, is the same 3 that were due up the last time up. Yeager, Madsen, DeMonte, the Corn Belt League batting through the lineup entirely their last time up at the plate in the bottom of the second. And so it'll be Yeager again. Last time up, a fly out to center field. First pitch ball misses from Robinson.
Interesting that we're still seeing Robinson out there. It depends on how many pitches he throws this inning. This could be the last time we see a Robinson. He's in mid-50s through 2 full. It's a pretty high pitch count.
Misses ball 2 as well. Now the count sits 2-0 for Yeager. And if you're the Corn Belt League, you'd love for this game to end early. Mercy rule is 15 after 5, 10 after 7. At any point, if that lead is surpassed, the game will be called. And so you've got a tough game looking ahead in the bracket against the Park City Rangers, a team that did extremely well in the KCLB, has some really good pitchers. It's a 4-pitch walk for Yeager. He'll head over to first. That Park City Rangers game has got to be on everyone's mind here if you're the Corn Belt League team, since you're slowly taking care of business against the Avengers. Looking ahead to Park City, a very good team, a very well-rounded pitching staff, some pitchers that can hit upper 90s, a pitcher that can hit in the mid-90s, and a pitcher that hits 90s on the fastball. Like a really, really well-rounded pitching staff for that Rangers side that secured a very high seed early on in this tournament.
My only thing about that Rangers team is, yeah, they've got some guys, but they were a little unproven, in my opinion. They didn't play the toughest competition in their pool play games. They played it up against this ICT Avengers team. Now, not to knock the Avengers team, not affiliated with Marvel. No, they don't have the Hulk or Tony Stark out there, but not the greatest. But, yeah.
That one will get through the gap for a single in the left field. It'll push Yeager over to second and Madsen over to first.
And Madsen continues to stay hot. Madsen's now he's 1 for 2 in this game, and he did reach in his last at bat, but an error does not count as a hit. It counts as actually an 0 for. So if you get on base 4 times in a game and they're all 4 errors, you're 0 for 4, which it does increase your on base percentage and your OPS. It will not increase your average. It'll actually hurt your average because it's a defensive error to get you out. But he's 1 for 2 now.
Now up steps Nick DeMonte, last time up, hit on a single. This one, a bunt over down the third base line, an absolutely beautiful bunt. What a good piece of hitting there from Nick DeMonte to load the bases.
Nick DeMonte is, first off, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Nick DeMonte is one of the most genuine people, but that bunt was the most genuine bunt I've ever seen. That ball was picture perfect down the line. I mean, I've seen a lot of sexy bunts in my life, but man, if we had a magazine full of sexy bunts, that bunt right there would be the front cover.
Bases loaded, nobody out for Braden Jackson, who takes the first pitch for a ball.
And it, just like that, in the blink of an eye, we've seen 5 pitches and we've got bases loaded. That's how quickly the Corn Belt League can get going. They can strike while the iron's hot, and we could see them really kind of explode here in the bottom of the third.
Braden Jackson watches ball too high.
A walk here would be about the worst thing you could do as a pitcher, to be honest with you. You'd rather get a ball in play, have your defense work behind you.
This one ripped high, pop fly. It's going to remain in the infield. And the catch is made by the second baseman, Salas. So the first out belongs to Braden Jackson, and it'll bring up Chris Bolifer, the hard-hitting catcher.
That is an infield fly rule right there. As bases were loaded, that ball stays in the infield to prevent some defensive trickery or a play that can become unfair where the ball just drops and then they can get a double play or a triple play pretty easily. An infield fly rule is called in that situation to kind of help the offense out.
Now Bolifer looks at pitch 1 in the dirt for 1-0. And yeah, like you mentioned, just an infield fly. That one, I mean, Salas could have dropped it. It still would have just been 1 out for Braden Jackson. As Bolifer steps back in on the 1-0. Robinson gets set with the bases loaded behind him and 1 away. Bolifer rips this one into right center field. Tracking back is Solomon. He'll make the catch. Runners tag. And so 1 run will score for the Corn Belt League, and they extend their lead to 6.
Jackson Yeager comes home to score right there. We still got bases at the corners now, and Christopher Calhoun will step up to the plate, so we flip it to the back. But you got Nick DeMonte at first. I'd expect Nick DeMonte to run here. You don't want to have runners at the corners. You don't want to have the middle infield out of a chance for a double play. So I'd expect Nick DeMonte, or excuse me, Force out at second. I would expect Nick DeMonte to be off and running here within the first 2 to 3 pitches in this at bat.
That one falls into right field, and so 1 more run scores, and runners back on the corners for the Corn Belt League. It's now 7-0 Corn Belt League.
You have 1 out up there. There we go.
And so the single to right pushes runners back to the corners for the Corn Belt League and pushes the lead to 7.
Yeah, they just continue to harp it on. That was a nice base hit from Christopher Calhoun. Now, I'd expect Christopher Calhoun to be off in the next pitch or two as he gets a great jump and he's off. No throw.
No throw down. He'll hold on to it. DeMonte at third. Calhoun at second now for this Corn Belt League side that has just been pouring it on offensively. And Madsen came around and scored there. So DeMonte's at third. Calhoun now at second after the stolen base. And the count now sits 1-1 for Burnett. That one swung on, chopped foul, and it'll be 2-1.
And Burnett wants that back.
1-2.
He wants that one back. He came back out of the batter's box. He was smiling. You could tell he wanted that one back. But in his last at-bat, he absolutely roped one down the third base line that threaded a needle. So if he could do so again right here, that could bring 2 more runs because you've got Nick DeMonte and Christopher Calhoun, your left fielder and your center fielder respectively, and they are very quick out there.
2 away and a 1-2 count here for Burnett. Last strike potentially of the bottom of the third. Burnett lifts this one high, fly ball, left center field. Both fielders striking. It's going to drop in the outfield. 1 run scores. The second one coming around. It's 2 more for the Corn Belt League.
And just on cue, Carson Burnett ropes one into left center field. 2 runs come across to score. And the last 5 outs, the Corn Belt League All-Stars have tacked on 9 runs, 9 unanswered runs here. And they continue to go out there. And this lineup just is so unrelentless because now you have Nick Ripa, who is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. So this offense just continues to pour it on.
Yeah, Burnett, that's his 4th RBI of the game already. Nick Ripa swings and misses heavily at the first pitch, and it's an 0-1 count. So Burnett's at second. Ripa's at the plate after Burnett brought in 2 with a double. He's got 4 RBIs already. 2 away, and now count sits 0-2 for Ripa.
Ripa is trying to let the game kind of settle down and come to him. He's kind of trying to slow this game down for the Corn Belt League. He's gotten real hot as of recently, and this Corn Belt League team has gotten real hot as of recently as well.
That one misses. 4-1.
The thing about what the Corn Belt League has been able to do is all these runs have been earned. These have all been earned runs off the hand of Robinson.
This one ripped high fly ball left field, tracking back is Caldwell at the wall, off the wall. It's going to be a double for Ripa, and Burnett comes around and scores. So the RBI double for Ripa. He's 3 for 3 on the day, 2 singles, 1 double, and 2 RBIs for Nick Ripa. As Burnett touches home, it's a 10-0 Corn Belt League.
And the Corn Belt League are just tacking it on right now. Everyone's getting a dose of the bat-on-ball action. It's contagious. Once one person gets going, then everyone else seems to follow. And now the Corn Belt League, they're cooking with propane out there, and they're not slowing down.
First pitch misses for ball 1. Runner on second is Ripa after bringing in Burnett with an RBI double.
Nino were to get on once again, that would have been the Corn Belt League batting through the lineup. So if he's able to get on, that would almost be another bat through the lineup.
Yeah, both times, all 3 innings actually, all 2 innings before this have ended on Nino at the plate. The first one ended with a strikeout looking. The second one, a pop out to the shortstop. So Nino looking to change the tides here as the count now sits 1-2 for Nino against a pitcher in Robinson who's gotten absolutely shelled today for 10 runs already. Nino steps back in, a 1-2 count. Runner goes. Nino fouls that one off the knob of his bat, and so Ripa forced to go back to second.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. Now, this is the 3rd time we've seen Ripa on base with Nino up at the plate, and that's the 3rd time we've seen a hit and run. So those two must have something in where it's just a hit and run every time they're out there together.
Here's the 1-2 again with 2 outs. That one low and away for 2-2.
Robinson's pitch count is starting to become a concern with the heat and everything out there. That pitch count's got to be getting really up there, and you got to be weary. That was his 75th pitch thrown right there, so he's over the 3/4 mark.
That one ripped over the shortstop's head. One run coming around. Ripa comes around to score, and Nino with an RBI single to left center field, and it's an 11-0 ball game for the Corn Belt League.
Just continues to tack it on now, 11-0. If you look at the scoreboard, it just looks like we're playing a football game out here. But nonetheless, the Corn Belt League, now everyone eats. Now everyone is eating here. And it looks like we are going to have... Oh, Nick DeMonte is going to run all the way out there to OB because Nick DeMonte, we just batted through the lineup. We just went 9 deep. Now Yeager's back up at the plate. He started the inning. He started the bottom of the 3rd inning. So the Corn Belt League has been able to work deep. And it looks like we are going to be seeing a meeting out on the mound. Now, I will note that this is a player coach. Bo Cumbie is a player coach, so he is a player and he's also a coach. It's kind of like the LeBron James of the Summer Ball Showdown. We know LeBron James runs the show in LA, but that's a little off topic. I don't want to get too far off the beaten path here, but it's kind of interesting because he can't really tell anyone in the dugout to get going because he's out there on first base playing. So you've got to kind of do everything in between the innings. That's kind of when you need to gather your team. So it's kind of interesting that we see Bo Cumbie and the ICT Avengers having a player coach.
And it looks like Robinson will remain out there on the bump. And so Yeager steps back in. And if my math serves me correct, after that Nino single to left, everybody on this Corn Belt League team has recorded at least 1 hit in the game. Some guys have 2, some guys have 3. And almost everyone has scored a run. The only guy who has not scored a run for this Corn Belt League side so far is Nino. And it's just Nino, the only guy who's not scored a run. So need to bring him around, and everyone will have at least scored a run as well. 11-0 ball game here with the count sitting 0-1 against Yeager. Yeager lifts this one high, fly ball, but it's well foul in left field. He caught all of that one. Was just a little too early.
I'm waiting for that Yeager bomb. I want the Yeager bomb out there, and he really got out in front of that one. That was an absolute rip down the 3rd base line. He's got to come back a little bit, allow that ball to travel to him. If so, that ball could be sitting in the forest in left field.
That one right back up the gap, and it gets through. It's another hit for the Corn Belt League and another hit for Yeager. Actually, his first hit because he drew a walk his last time up in this specific inning. And he'll reach first on a single and push Nino over to second.
Yeah, we have 11 runs on 12 hits in this ball game, and it's just unrelentless. It's kind of like your mom telling you to do chores at home when you've been home all day playing video games. She gets home and she's just unrelentless, telling you to get off your butt. Well, the Corn Belt League is just unrelentless up at the plate.
First pitch strike for Madsen at the plate now. His last time up in this inning, he hit a single to left. The Corn Belt League is loving that 5-6 gap, and Madsen watches ball 1 low. It's a 1-1 count with 2 away. A lot of the damage in this inning has been done with 2 outs in the inning as well, so just really clutch hitting from the Corn Belt League. Here's the 1-1 to Madsen with 2 away and 2 on. Sets, kicks, delivers, does Robinson. This one right back up the gap again. Nino's going to coast around and go home, and it's another run for the Corn Belt League.
Another run. It's now 12-0. We have scored a touchdown in this bottom of the 3rd inning, and the offense is absolutely cooking. I kind of feel bad for the ICT Avengers. I mean, they haven't had a time to get out of this inning. They've been out there in the sun all inning. This has been almost a 30-minute inning right here. We've almost gone 30 minutes here in the bottom of the 3rd.
So Nino comes around to score, and just like that, everybody on this Corn Belt League side has scored a run after the hit from Madsen, with runners on first and second.
I know Aiden Urbaum is just smiling in the dugout right now. He loves every moment of watching his team go out there and give him run support.
Count now sits 1-1 with 2 away, and Nick DeMonte up to bat. Yeager on second, Madsen on first. And you got to think here, the defensive substitutions are going to start coming soon, as that one gets past the catcher Landwehr, and over to third is Yeager, and over to second is DeMonte. Yeager's not the fastest guy out there, so he almost got thrown out there. Landwehr got a good jump on the ball, but it trailed just too far away from it. He had a ways to go to get the ball and then make the throw over to third. But either way, Yeager is safe as 2 in scoring position for DeMonte.
We'll have to say they were not running 100%. They were jogging their way down the lines. But you want to see them put in effort. You want them to respect the game. This is still baseball. You want them to respect the game in every aspect.
DeMonte rips one foul. It's a 1-2 count.
A base hit here could, DeMonte needs to get on for B-Jack behind him, but the Corn Belt League could be getting to that 15 runs after 5 innings. Even though we're in the 3rd inning, it could be coming to a close pretty quickly.
That one high for 2-2. And you do play at least 4.5. The Corn Belt League being the home side. If they hold a 15-run lead after 4.5, they won't play that bottom of the 5th inning because, well, then the score's already been hit. As DeMonte rips one up the gap, closing in on it is Hillhouse. The throw over to first is picked up in time, and it will be the final out of the 3rd inning, but the Corn Belt League does the damage they need to do. It's a 12-0 ball game. They put up a touchdown in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We'll have the top of the 4th when we return right here on the Corn Belt League Network. And we're back here, top of the 4th inning, and, well, we are expecting a few defensive changes, and we've got a few defensive changes as well.
Yeah, we got numerous new Corn Belt Leaguers out there. Dylan Fuller takes over in right field, and we'll see Caben Steenbach, and we'll see Drew Miller, the new duo up the middle with Matthew Rivers, who hit a dead center bomb yesterday. Cooper McCoy is behind the plate now for the Corn Belt League. So 6 new position players out there, and we've got a first pitch fly ball.
First pitch fly ball, DeMonte tracking into left, stepping over and making the catch for the first out of the inning, and Urbaum continues to work efficiently.
Yeah, Urbaum is just absolutely dealing out there. His pitch count is really low, and that is exactly what we need. We needed him to keep a low pitch count. His efficiency has been efficient. He's thrown 37 pitches through 3 1/3 innings. That's right where you need to be. That's on average of about 12 pitches per inning.
And if he keeps it up and he gets relieved here soon, it could be saving an arm here for a potential championship game if the Corn Belt League were to make it there, because you save a guy like Urbaum who can absolutely deal, as the first pitch is in there for a strike, but the second one misses for a ball, so it's a 1-1 count here for Urbaum. That one missed in there for strike 2, excuse me. So it's 1-2 with one away here in the top of the 4th. Erbaum continues to deal extremely well, and that one hanging curveball in there for strike 3. Got him looking, and Erbaum continues to have himself a gem of a night.
And Aiden Erbaum just looks so poised out there. That's the thing about pitchers is when you get poised like that, when you build that confidence, you just radiate it. Your infield starts to feel it. Your battery with your catcher starts to feel it. Everyone starts to feel it. Everyone gets going. It's truly, truly, truly special.
They'll bring up Mark Landwehr, the catcher. First pitch is a foul ball. It just hits the top of the netting. We thought we'd have one coming back our way here in the press box, but the netting does its job well.
Ooh, I got excited there. I was so ready for that. That barely missed the netting or hit the netting.
Second pitch misses from Erbaum, so it's a 1-1 count. Erbaum, at this point, I mean, 40 pitches in, you're basically just throwing a bullpen. You're basically just practicing, and you might get relieved here soon to keep your arm fresh for a Sunday game. Erbaum gets set, kicks, delivers. Right back up the mound. Erbaum tried to kick at it. Coming over, Steenbach, the throw over in time. Great defensive play from Kaven Steenbach for the 3rd out of the inning, and just like that, another 1-2-3 inning from Erbaum. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. The Corn Belt League looking to tack on that mercy rule.
Welcome back to Genesis Health and Sports Complex as the Corn Belt League has scored 12 runs in the last 2 innings combined as we go to the bottom of the 4th here. And the Corn Belt League needs 3 runs to go and initiate that 15 after 5 run rule. So they're going to be started off leading off the top of the inning, replacing Braden Jackson, the newly checked in second baseman, Drew Miller.
Yeah, and Miller's up to bat, but it's also a new face on the mound as Roman Caldwell comes in from left field to pitch a little bit. I'll throw a first pitch strike.
He'll throw a first pitch strike, and Drew Miller, who who started the first game and went 0 for 2 will get ready for the 0-1. It'll be in the dirt and outside, 1-1 count to Drew Miller.
And we're getting those first few looks here at Caldwell. Throws a little bit of a sidearm motion with his pitches. Once again, no pitching stats on him during this tournament so far. His first time on the bump here in what would be the ICT Avengers final game.
As that one runs a little inside, it'll be a 2-1 count, as Drew Miller didn't even seem phased that ball was coming inside. He kind of stood there and kind of was maybe accepting his fate.
Yeah, it wasn't the fastest pitch, so if you want any pitch to hit you, it's that one.
Drew Miller for the 2-1. Skies that one into center field. Chris Bowl will camp underneath that one for the first out of the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, Miller got a good piece of contact there, but unfortunately just right at the center fielder who was just camping under and waiting for it, and it'll bring up Cooper McCoy at the bottom of the lineup.
It'll be Cooper McCoy, the young man from Lions College, who transferred from Ottawa University to Lions College and is taking over the catching duties for Chris Bolifer today. We'll see Caldwell start his windup, the delivery. That ball will be hit out of play and to the field to our immediate right for strike number 1.
And if you're wondering where Robinson went after his time on the mound, he is actually pushed over into left field. So it's just a straight switch, pitcher to left fielder, pitcher for the Avengers.
Caldwell delivers home, and that'll get him swinging as Cooper McCoy did break the plane. It'll be an 0-2 count. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to Cooper McCoy. That ball gets a little too inside, and it'll be a 1-2 count.
Yeah, 1-2 for McCoy. Hasn't got the most reps out in the catcher spot. It's been mainly rotating between Nino and Bolifer, but it's good to see McCoy out now getting his reps and getting a chance to put the bat to the ball here.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Cooper McCoy as Caldwell comes set. Cooper McCoy will swing and miss at strike number 3. 2 up, 2 down here for the Avengers in the bottom of the fourth. And we'll see Christopher Calhoun as we go back to the top of the order here for the Corn Belt League All-Stars.
Yeah, Calhoun, the leadoff man, has gone 1 for 2 today. Also reached base on a walk. Has scored a run both times that he's reached the base. And really, this Corn Belt League team, after putting on 7 in the bottom of the third, just looking to tack on a few more and push it to that mercy rule.
They've scored 5 in the second, 7 in the third. They're looking to add at least 3 here in the fourth. That pitch will be hit very high into right field as Matt Solomon will come running on, and he'll squeeze that one for out number 3. Well, 3 up, 3 down for the Avengers. A quick bottom of the fourth as the Corn Belt League will go to the top of the fifth as they are in cruise control right here on the Corn Belt League Network. Welcome back to Genesis Health and Sports and Complex. We're here on Field 3 as your Corn Belt League All-Stars have jumped out to a 12-0 advantage here in the top of the fifth as Aiden Urbaum gets his day relieved by the new pitcher, Nick Mersak.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about Urbaum. Obviously, you wanted him to go the distance, but also you save that arm for a potential Sunday game, the semifinal Sunday at 1 p.m., the championship Sunday at 7 p.m. if the Corn Belt League were to make it there. And you bring in Nick Mersak, who in his one appearance here in Wichita didn't record a single inning pitch technically because he could not record an out, gave up 2 earned runs, and gave up 2 walks as well, allowed a hit as well. So just wasn't the great start that you wanted from Mersak, who from the Rail Riders this season was their ace. He was their leading pitcher in terms of innings pitched, so you know he can get it done on the mound. You just need him to do it here in Wichita.
Austin Hillhouse steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the top of the second inning. As Nick Mersak loads up strike 1 as he comes set. Quick work from Nick Mersak. He's already ready to deliver the 0-1. That ball will be grounded on over to Caben Steenbach at short, gathers it and throws it on over to Matthew Rivers at first. A 2-pitch out number 1.
Yeah, and Steenbach has been doing great work defensively. You saw him get that final out of the last inning, and now he gets the first out of this inning as well.
As this is how the infield will look defensively behind Mersak. It'll be Burnett, Steenbach, Miller, Rivers, and then Cooper McCoy behind the plate. The outfield remotely the same besides Dylan Fuller, who checked in last inning. So it'll be DeMonte in left, Calhoun in center, and Dylan Fuller in right. But we'll see Jose Salas step up to the plate, and he'll watch ball 1 outside. Salas is also 0 for 1 with the strikeout in the second inning, one of the many hitters that fell victim to a Aiden Urbaum strikeout. That ball will be in the dirt. Nice stop by Cooper McCoy. It'll be a 2-0 count.
Yeah, flashing the leather there a little bit is Cooper McCoy. A little bit of that pick off with the backhand on the pitch in the dirt. That was kind of spiked well ahead of the batter's box. So good recovery there from McCoy, and another good block there from McCoy on another pitch in the dirt from Mersak.
Mersak, after getting a quick ground out on an 0-1 count, has worked down 3-0. Salas with the 3-0 pitch will take it out of play, and it'll be a foul ball.
Yeah, and Mersak, that's the best thing. You throw a pitch in the strike zone. Sure, they make contact with it, but it's not in play, and you get a chance to work a full count here on the 3-1.
As that ball will be inside, that'll be a 5-pitch walk to Jose Salas, and the Avengers have a runner on base here after the last couple innings. That has been shortcomings for them. They have not gotten a lot of base runners, but we'll see Shavana step up to the plate, who flew out to right field in the top of the third.
Yeah, Salas just the second base runner on this side.
As the ground ball will be hit to Miller, the 4, the 6, the 3, the double play by the middle infield for the Corn Belt League, and Nick Mersak works himself a quick 3-out top of the 5th inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and the Corn Belt League look to tack some more runs under the 12-0 advantage. Carson Burnett will lead things off for the Corn Belt League here in the bottom of the 5th after they went 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 4th, and 3 more runs would enact that 15 run after 5, and Carson Burnett will foul that first one into the net behind him.
Yeah, Carson Burnett's had himself a day, has gone 2 for 3, 2 doubles, and 2 runs scored, but the big thing, 4 runs batted in. Carson Burnett is our early contender here for player of the game if he can get a hit here as well.
Carson Burnett awaits the 0-1 from Caldwell. That one behind him, that went behind the numbers on his back. It'll be a 1-1 count.
Yeah, Carson Burnett kind of, when you're used to ducking out of the way, you're used to stepping back, get a step forward to get out of the way of that one, and luckily for him, he avoided it for a 1-1 count.
After Carson Burnett had to do the stanky leg to get out of the way, he'll take that third pitch and rope it into center field for a lead-off single, and Carson Burnett is about as hot as possible up at the plate here for the Corn Belt League.
Yeah, 3 for 4 on the day, 2 doubles, 1 single, 2 runs scored, and a chance to tack another one on here after leading off the top of the 5th inning with, the bottom of the 5th inning with a single.
And Caben Steenbach will get his first plate appearance of the day. The young man goes to school not too far from here at Newman University, an MIAA school. And he'll have Carson Burnett, as underrated speed threat at first base in Carson Burnett. Caben Steenbach will watch strike one, catch the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, Steenbach has struggled a little bit here in Wichita. He's gone 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in the first 2 games, so just needs to settle down. You're playing close to home. You're at a familiar territory here at the Genesis Health Club Sports Complex. You know your surroundings. Just settle down, feel comfortable, put a bat to ball, and unluckily, we do not see the pink bat from Steenbach. There was talks about him bringing out Nick DeMonte's pink bat.
That ball will be roped into center field, and Chris Bowl doesn't even have to move. That'll go right to him for out number 1. Carson Burnett will just trot back to first.
And unfortunate for Steenbach, he got good contact to it the first time he's made contact with the ball here in Wichita and put it into fair play, but just right to the center fielder, Bull, who's playing pretty deep there in the outfield.
And Bull, yeah, we mentioned that earlier. Bull is playing pretty close to that 380 sign in center field. But up steps Anthony Nino, who had a hit in his last at-bat, and he will rope that one into left field. That one will get by the third baseman, Shavana, as Nino has gone back-to-back singles in his last 2 at-bats, and runners on first and second now here for the big man, Matthew Rivers.
The man from Des Moines Area Community College launched a home run yesterday, and now with 2 on has a chance to end it here with a walk-off home run for the Mercy Rule. And what better way to send us into the nightcap with Matthew Rivers' home run with the Mercy Rule.
If you are keeping score in a scorebook at home, I bet yours is as busy as ours look up here as Matthew Rivers gets that one down the third base line. It'll be foul. As, like you mentioned, Matthew Rivers on this field last night went dead center. Ball went a little over 400 feet projected. We didn't get an exact footage on that home run, but definitely over 400, and he will hold back on a ball high.
Yeah, the Corn Belt League holds a record here in Wichita at the Summer Ball Showdown for the longest home run hit. 2 years ago, 443 feet. Rivers couldn't hit that mark last night, but it went over 400, a good mark for Rivers.
As Rivers watches ball 2 outside, as we saw 2 filth ballers hit home runs yesterday, Carson Burnett and Matthew Rivers, the 2 corner infielders, as the 2-1 to Matthew Rivers, and he'll sky that one right over the Avengers dugout. It'll be a 2-2 count.
Yeah, 2-2 with 1 away. You got to expect Rivers here to try and protect the plate. You're not swinging for the fences anymore. You're swinging for contact and trying to bring in Burnett over at second.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Matthew Rivers. The Corn Belt League have scored 12 runs on 15 hits. The 2-2 jams him inside. He does not go. It'll be a full count for Matthew Rivers.
Good check there from Rivers. You know he wanted to swing at that slower pitch inside, but checks back, realizes it's tailing way too close to his numbers, and he'll sit here on the full count.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And Rivers will swing and miss at strike number 3. A beautiful breaking ball from Caldwell gets Rivers a little off balance for out number 2.
Unlucky for Rivers, but it'll bring up Dylan Fuller, the right fielder for the Corn Belt League, his first plate appearance of the night, and a chance for him to extend this Corn Belt League lead.
Dylan Fuller, the young man from San Joaquin Delta College, who took over in right field for Cam Madsen. Was a Black Sox player earlier this year, spent some time under Vern Hasty's wing. He's quite familiar with his coaching strategies and philosophies. The umpire is making some notes of the new hitter. First time Dylan Fuller has stepped up to the plate today. As we've got a time as the catcher is doing something and the umpire behind the plate or behind the mound is also changing something in his scorebook. As it looks like we are ready now. No balls, no strikes to Dylan Fuller. Backs him off the plate a little bit for ball one.
And Fuller just patient at the plate here. And we talk a lot about Nick DeMonte's pink bat. I think Dylan Fuller's pink handle goes a little unnoticed. He's got the white top and the pink handle on his bat.
That ball will be roped up the middle for a base hit. Carson Burnett's going to get raved home, and he'll cruise into home. And the Corn Belt League tack one more onto their lead after a Dylan Fuller RBI single.
Yeah, Dylan just launched that one right back up the gap for his first RBI of the night, and it'll bring up Nick DeMonte.
Nick DeMonte, who has been an Ironman out in the field, has so far played all 23 innings out in the field that we've played here in the Summer Ball Showdown. And he will take the first pitch well inside for ball number one.
Yeah, and DeMonte has mentioned it that he just is feeling that fatigue a little bit, especially after last night, a late night here at the Genesis Health Club Sports Complex. But he's ready to go again today with a potential doubleheader on the cards for the Corn Belt League.
So that last pitch was called a strike. It'll be a 1-1 count here to Nick DeMonte. So Nick DeMonte will watch strike two inside. It'll be a 1-ball, 2-strike count here for Nick DeMonte. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th.
Got Nino on second, Fuller on first.
As DeMonte will ground that one over, it'll split the pitcher and third baseman. DeMonte is very fast. He will get there in time. And DeMonte beats out another infield single that'll load up the bases.
Yeah, loads the bases for Drew Miller coming in for Braden Jackson. And well, a chance to push some more runs across the board here for Miller and end it.
As all the Black Sox players have been playing very well this Corn Belt League Summer Ball Showdown tournament. So it'll be Drew Miller, who was a haymaker earlier in the regular season, and he'll get ready for his first pitch, and it'll be a beautiful-looking breaking ball in there for strike one.
Yeah, good-looking pitch there from Caldwell. You know your tournament's going to come to a close here if you're the Avengers. You just want to go out and put up a little bit of a fight here before things come to an end.
That ball will be grounded on over to third, and Drew Miller will run on over to first, and that ball will be not in time. It'll be picked, but it'll be out of the glove of the first baseman, Bo Cumby, and another run will come across to score. Now 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th.
Just 1 run away from this game being called, and bases loaded as Miller beat that throw out from third to first. And it didn't even look like Miller was gunning too hard for first. Just got lucky there that the first baseman bobbled the catch.
We'll see Cooper McCoy, the man behind the dish, who can base hit, will enact that 15 after 5 mercy rule run rule here. 1 ball, no strike to Cooper McCoy. A walk will even do it. So if he can be patient at the plate, a walk will even bring it home. The 1-0. That ball will be in there for strike one. Nice pitch from Caldwell. Beautiful looking fastball.
Yeah, that's not how you want it to end for Caldwell, and I think he knows that as well. He knows he's got to throw strikes. You'd rather end it on a walk-off hit than a walk-off walk.
As Cooper McCoy will watch ball 2 down and away.
McCoy very patient at the plate from Lions College, and when you got 3 on, you just got to bring 1 home to call it.
The 2-1 to McCoy. That ball will be in there. A beautiful looking changeup right there from Caldwell. It'll be a 2-2 count. And McCoy's got to stay alive. He's got to battle to get one in play or stay patient. As Cooper McCoy will just foul tip that one. That one will just land right behind him. That ball just nicked off the end of the bat for Cooper McCoy.
Got away with one there, did McCoy. And with bases loaded, Miller on first, DeMonte on second, Fuller at third.
The 2-2 will miss outside. Good eye by Cooper McCoy. That's a very tempting pitch, and he holds back.
Yeah, McCoy now has worked a full count. Once again, a walk will end it. A base hit will end it. A strikeout means we play another full inning.
Bottom of the fifth, 3-2, 2 outs to Cooper McCoy, and that ball will be roped down the third base line, but it'll stay foul.
Yeah, good work there from McCoy. Saw the pitch in the zone, had to take it and swing at it, but he misses and pulls it foul. So we'll go again with a full count.
It'll be a full count to Cooper McCoy as the Corn Belt League has put on 2 runs here in the bottom of the fifth. 14 runs on 18 hits here for the Corn Belt League, as the bats have just exploded here in the first bracket game of the Summer Ball Showdown. The full count pitch. That ball will run in and get Cooper McCoy, and that 15th run will come across to score after Cooper McCoy got beamed right on the backside, and it'll still be bases loaded, and the umps are just going to call the game. And that'll do it here from Field 3 after the Corn Belt League gets 15 runs on 18 hits. And the game will end after only an hour and 33 minutes of game time. And the Corn Belt League will be back in action tonight at 7 p.m. But Arnav, what did you see from this Corn Belt League team? And is this the type of game that can be a momentum swing going into later tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about the bats getting hot at the right time. It started at the beginning of last game, and it just continued through today. The Avengers didn't have the strongest run of pool play games, and it kind of comes crashing to a halt here for the ICT Avengers. But all credit to them. They played a great game. They fought hard. The Corn Belt League, just a little bit more talent on their side, and now you go tonight against a very, very tough opponent in the Park City Rangers. That game is going to be an absolute barn burner, Ethan. I'm so excited for that one tonight. But first, we got to finish this one off. I mean, player of the game, Ethan, who do you pick? Because you had Urban pitching a gem, and you had Carson Burnett, who had 4 RBIs. I think that would be my pick. You had Nino, who had an RBI. Nick Ripa had 2 RBIs as well. I mean, tons of talent up and down at this Corn Belt League lineup. Burnett, 4 RBIs is my player of the game, though.
I'm going to go with Burnett, and we will talk to Carson Burnett here, and that'll appear on our social media. But in the meantime, the Park City Rangers will meet the Corn Belt League Omaha All-Stars. That game will be scheduled for first pitch at 7 p.m. as we will toss it to the end of this ball game here. That's been Arnav Pokhrel. I've been Ethan McCormick. We will see you tomorrow night. First pitch scheduled for 7 o'clock. We will go live about 6:50. We will see you later tonight.